All right, all right. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Come on in. We're live for as long as we survive. There is a giant, I don't know if you can see it out that window through the doubles there. We have a giant rainstorm right now here in Tennessee, and the lightning struck somewhere very close. And it was louder than a gunshot, than like a shotgun blast right outside the house. That one, I about jumped out of my chair. I've heard lightning and thunder all over this house. That one was in the top 10 in the last 10 years, loudest. It was pretty bad. So if you guys suddenly hear a big lightning explosion, it's just part of the territory because it is storming out. Another thing that could happen is we could lose power. So if I lose power, it doesn't always shut the lights down on this computer, but I do have my internet is inside the house, and that power could shut down, so it would cut us off. I could still record and it would eventually, be posted online, but we might get temporarily cut off. And again, if it loses connection, it'll just go black. Stick around. I might come back if the router turns back on. Might take a couple minutes. But we are hitting Hunter Biden. This loosely involves Jill Biden. The comments the other day that Trump made about the auto pen, which there's more comments about that. I think that could be building steam. I believe there's an investigation on it right now. But this one's involving, I've got an article from the New York Post. We'll get to it in just a minute. Just want to say hi to everyone. Look at who's calling me Shaggy? Look at this. What's up, Shaggy? Now my hair is getting a little greasy and long. I don't have time. Yesterday, the beloved Miss TenNapel offered we were going to trim my beard, give me a little haircut, and I literally didn't have time. So this is from workaholism for about a month of not being able to take a break. So and tomorrow's Sabbath, I take it off. You guys know the rules. This I need $100 in super chats if we're going to do a live show on Monday. That's all. It's to cover up the losses it takes. It's a long story, but just throw in a super chat if you have something to say. We'll put it on screen. We'll ask your questions, and if we raise enough, about $100 in super chats, then we will go Monday. We will do a live show, and if not, I'll just do a regular episode. Not a threat, not a big deal. It's just slightly easier to do regular episodes, and they don't lose money. To keep my monthly income up. And we're just trying to pay our bills, just like all of you are. Everyone, we're just trying to make it. Yesterday, my friend Mike Miller was in the chat and he goes, Doug, just sell some of your comic book art online. And it didn't work out. But he's going like, what are you? Are you begging people to live? No, I'm not. Okay, here's Patty Wagner. What state are you? I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Franklin, Tennessee. Stay dry, Drug. Yeah, it is. We are moving all the water away from the house through the rain gutters right now and hoping the roof doesn't start leaking, because that's another $1,400 down the toilet if that happens. Anywho, I'm glad to see all of you are here. There's AC Cruz. All my regulars are here. Come on in. Daver, counting cigars. Ooh. Daver. That's almost a Davidoff cigar. I can't talk about tobacco on YouTube, so that's just a huge thing. Any hot trannies in your area, man? I don't know what that means. Okay. We're going to get to all the news. Okay, let me save the I'll do the Hunter Biden article. It's too fun. I've got too much fun. I do wanted to, I've done a lot on the guys burning Teslas to the ground. So I'll just show you this how about a quick arrest video for all y'all? Here's a goon being arrested. So who's this guy? This says anti-Musk deranged leftist arrested in Missouri for keying a Cybertruck. And we've had a lot of people, there's keying, spray painting, random Cybertrucks in public.
Yep, they're handcuffing him.
No.
Oh, what? Take a picture. He's getting arrested. Yep. Look at this. Yeah.
Look at his ponytail. Look at this hippie. Dumpy, doughy, doesn't have a job, goes up and keys someone's $100,000 Cybertruck.
Can they see me?
No. He's gonna be prosecuted. Yeah. He must have had other warrants out.
They had a warrant out
He's
for
getting
him.
taken away.
They busted another guy in New York for putting a swastika on a car, which is a hate crime. It ended up, of all the cars he put a swastika on, the Tesla was owned by a Jew. And the guy put a swastika on a Jew's Tesla. That's a hate crime. I think we might be able to get some decent prosecute. Get him, throw that bum in jail. Here's Anna Kasparian. Because a lot of the damage of the Democrats is what is turning them into vandals. What's turning them into monsters? Is it their politics? Does being a Democrat turn you violent, or are violent people attracted to the Democrat Party? That's how I'll put it. How's that? I had to think about that one for a second. Here's Anna Kasparian.
When I look at my life right now and I ask myself, which political party has made my life worse? It's not the Republican Party. Locally speaking, the Democrats have complete control and they have nearly destroyed my family's livelihood. Okay, we are living in trash and squalor everywhere.
That's Anna Kasparian. She lives in LA. And so she used to be a Democrat. She's not a Republican yet, but she needs to be one. But the Democrats have ruined her town. So she's from LA. I can vouch for that. Burbank, Glendale, wonderful places. They destroyed her ability to make a living, destroyed her ability to live in peace, because she was someone who was assaulted by a homeless person in a very personal way. And then the Democrats came out and attacked her for it, for speaking out against homeless people. They attacked her career and said, we're not watching you anymore. Because the Republicans aren't ruining it. Oh, there you go. The Democrats have ruined my retirement. I was just telling the beloved Miss Tenaple, I'm like, we don't have enough money wrapped up in this house to retire. We've been in the stock market since 1998. You got almost nothing to show for it. It doesn't, paying off your house over 30 years, ain't no one retiring rich or even healthy. And they'll just change the tax code on you. Don't forget Venice, Doug. It's a hole. I really love California. We're going to get more. Okay, we still got to get to Hunter. So let me get through her real quick.
And unless the Democratic Party actually acknowledge these issues and solve these issues, rather than stealing our taxpayer money and funneling it to their nonprofit friends.
Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? How many Democrats are willing to say that? Well, now she's really not going to have a job. If she's telling the truth about the Democrats, they're stealing your money and our money and giving it to their Democrat friends.
Their nonprofit friends. They keep doing this, they're going to keep losing. And I'm going to keep speaking out against them. I don't care how much they hate Trump. I don't care how naughty the Republicans are being. Right now, the people having a negative impact on my life is the Democratic Party, and they need to change their ways. When we say we want to change the status quo, it doesn't mean we want to live in anarchy. It doesn't mean that we want to have $24 billion of our taxpayer money in California stolen by these nonprofits. It means that we want working people to be rewarded for their hard work. We want affordable housing.
You're not going to ever get that in the Democrat Party. They're anti-building. Democrats won't let you build a house. You'll never have affordable housing under Democrats. You'll never have low taxes under Democrats. You'll never have a robust economy under the Democrats. They will fake the numbers.
We want better working conditions, higher wages, better health care. These are things that Democrats used to purport to want to do. They don't do any of it anymore. And so I'm done with them until they change their ways.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, welcome to the rest of the world. You're done with them, but will you vote Republican? I doubt it. Here's the Hunter Biden story. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Hunter Biden fled to ultra luxurious vacation in South Africa. That's where Elon's from. When they say go back to Africa, Elon, Hunter Biden visits there. Are they saying deport him, go back to Africa? With round the clock Secret Service protection, avoiding grueling deposition. So he was supposed to have a deposition. He didn't get it. Here we go. I could show you the video. Hunter Biden fled last week to South Africa for a luxury vacation with round-the-clock Secret Service protection, avoiding a grueling deposition, scheduled for his week in a California lawsuit. Now, this is the lawsuit that actually could have legs to get him. And because it's not a federal one, he can't get a presidential pardon on it. California District Court Judge Herman Vera granted Hunter's motion to dismiss the case Thursday after the former first son claimed he was too broke to continue suing former Trump staffer Garrett Ziegler and the nonprofit Marco Polo. Marco Polo is the one that released the entire printed Hunter Biden laptop and told everyone exactly what the Democrat Party is about. And it's not good for children, is how we'll put it. But photographs show Hunter was already in Cape Town the day the case was dismissed, staying in a $500 a night beachfront villa, described on the website as an ultra-luxurious designer home with spectacular 180 degrees of unobstructed views of the sea. And there's our guy Hunter right there, living the life of luxury. And that's his security detail. He has to have people or goons around him. That's part of being a president in the presidential family, is you have goons around you to make sure that you're safe. That's normal. Ziegler's lawyers alleged to the court last week that Hunter had fled to South Africa to potentially avoid his deposition in this case, which was set for this week after originally being planned for February, but he got off, He was in South Africa before the judge even decided the case, Ziegler said on Friday. That means he's assuming his daddy's appointee is going to rubber stamp what he wants. That's the judge. So he knew the judge would rubber stamp whatever he wants because he's a Democrat appointed judge. He's Biden. How does Joe Biden get Hunter Biden in his case? How does he get a Joe Biden appointed judge? And when Trump goes to court in New York, he doesn't get a Trump appointed judge. Or imagine if Trump's dad appointed a judge. That's the equivalent. It's not fair. Hunter and his South African-born wife, Melissa Cohen, were spotted walking around the high-end shopping district of Cape Town with their Secret Service detail this week in photos provided by the Post by independent reporter Laura Loomer. He racked up $200,000 in legal costs. Ziegler will include the images in the next court filing, seeking $200,000 in legal costs incurred after Hunter sued him over Marco Polo's digitized version of the notorious laptop from hell. So you see how this works? Hunter Biden sued him. This guy racked up $200,000 in legal fees. Then Hunter Biden went back to the judge and said, I can't afford to prosecute this case. And the judge lets it go. But this guy still has to pay his $200,000 in legal fees. The scandal prone 55-year-old son of Joe Biden does not qualify for statutory Secret Service protection, which only applies to former president's children age 16, under 16. I didn't know that, under the former President's Act. This is the Ziegler, this is the guy that released the Hunter Biden laptop onto Marco Polo. He's a national hero, a free speech hero of some kind. But Biden issued an executive memorandum before he left the presidency, indefinitely extending the Secret Service protection for his son, according to Trump, the administration. Now, this goes into, remember, Hunter Biden's pardon was signed by the Joe Biden auto pen. So we don't know that Joe Biden signed the pardon or that he knew about it. It could have been Jill Biden, who I believe was probably, in this case, handling the auto pen because Joe wasn't present. His eyes were staring through everyone. He couldn't make sentences in that final week. I think this was done, when was this? Last November? I don't know if it was before the election or after. It was right around there. He pardoned his son to get ahead of the story. And probably stepped all over the Kamala Harris campaign in the meanwhile. If you guys remember when it was this before or after the election? While we cannot comment on the specifics of our protection, means, and methods, we can confirm Mr. Biden is an authorized protectee of the U.S. Secret Service, said Anthony Guglielmi. Told the Post on Friday Guglielmi would not confirm that the 18 Secret Service agents have traveled to Cape Town with Hunter. But he said our agents are trained, authorized, and mandated by federal law to provide security anywhere in the world for individuals under our protection. There's Hunter Biden. I believe this is his South African wife and their kid, even though he's got a little kid out there somewhere with no daddy that Biden would not even admit was his grandson. Loomer cites local sources that claim that Hunter is traveling with 18 agents. There you go. It took Laura Loomer, a semi-wacky independent journalist, to tell you the truth, and New York Post to put out there, because mainstream media won't tell you this, that Hunter Biden is wasting our money during this lawsuit that is all a giant inside job. They were never going to prosecute Hunter. Hunter was trying to prosecute this 18-page, man, I'm losing my mind. The Marco Polo document that printed it is who he was trying to prosecute. And he couldn't afford to do the lawsuit, so they were going to dismiss it anyways. 3 shifts of 4 agents plus 6 backup agents who are staying at a nearby 4-star hotel, collecting their per diem payments for meals and renting 2 cars. All for this cokehead. The cost of the taxpayer potentially would be $500,000 at a time when the Secret Service is stretched thin. President Trump extended the Secret Service protection to his 4 children for 6 months after he left office in 2021. Prompting heavy criticism from Democrats and media outlets who complained about the estimated cost of $1.7 million. Look, I don't think, maybe Hunter's compromised. You know, most terrorists know you do not touch the Democrats. They're pretty safe. That's how I remember it anyways. Now, on the auto pen issue, do you guys think they're coming after, do you think that they're coming after Biden's auto pen pardons? Can they reverse the pardon on Hunter Biden? Because Hunter Biden has more crimes on that laptop. I mean, I can barely even look at him. I certainly could never report on him here. Stuff that's so illegal that I couldn't even describe them to you here. I mean, really bad stuff. Okay, we'll get back to them. You guys can keep answering. They're saying, I hope so. They're saying yes. Hunter, world's most famous loser. And where's his art show? His art, he can't sell it anymore. No one wants to buy it. people only wanted to use it to launder money anyways, but no one wants to buy his artwork. I'm an artist my whole life. By the way, no one buys anyone's artwork. It's very rare to actually sell art, in case you didn't know. You know, there's people that collect. I never drew Marvel comic heroes like Thor and Spider-Man. And so when people buy your artwork, if it's over a famous character like Thor or Spider-Man, I didn't create them, but if I drew them, I could probably sell the artwork. But the reason why someone's buying it is not because of my drawing skills. They're primarily buying it because it's Thor and Spider-Man, which I did not create. So now I'm making money off someone else's creation. That's about 99.9% of the comics industry. People do not care about art or story. I think many of you would care if I made a comic. Would you guys fund it? I could probably make a Doug in Exile, The Adventures of Doug in Exile, do a sci-fi Trump and Elon Musk in space saving the world comic book. I think you guys would probably fund that. If I had enough crowdfunders, we could make that book together. I'd probably need about, you know, a couple thousand people doing it, but that would probably sell. Okay. Now we're going to do some Thomas Massie here. This is Thomas Massie's actual Twitter account because he was right. And you guys called me out on that. When was that? Yesterday? That he called it that the Democrats would come over and vote for the Republicans. Now, I have to qualify it, what he says, because I don't think the reasoning that he says is correct, but he is right that on the first vote, Schumer came over and voted with Mike Johnson. And in the Senate, so this is Thomas Massie in the House. Well, in the Senate, the only one to vote against it was Rand Paul. Okay, Rand Paul voted against it. But then how do you explain if it's a giant uniparty thing? Why are all the Democrats jumping Chuck Schumer right now for voting for the thing? See, the story isn't as neat and tidy as Thomas Massie made it out. Okay, here goes. Well, first, here's his March 11th one. The lowdown on the CR. It's a fake fight here in the House that will become obvious when the Senate Democrats vote for the stinker. That was his prediction. And I said, no, they're not. I predict they're not going to get one vote. And then here's Thomas Massie with the victory lap on his prediction. 62 to 38 in the Senate. As I predicted 3 days ago, Senate Democrats carried this across the finish line. Now, here's his reason why. Because, and I don't believe this is the reason why they did it. Carried this across the finish line because it's basically a continuation of the Schumer, Biden, Johnson 2024 omnibus. So he's saying, just to clarify this, he's saying they like it because it funds all of the pork and corruption of the last budget. And there's no changes, even though they did do some changes. They did some cuts here and there. Some tax cuts, funded the border security. They did do some funding on it. But overall, it's the CR is the same thing, and it's going to keep the government open till September. So if you committed a sin, Thomas Massie, if they committed a sin, it's only till September. What it does is it allows Trump to keep working on DOGE. And I believe that's the sole reason why Trump wanted it. I don't think Trump... Is Thomas Massie saying that Trump wants to pay for USAID corruption? Is that what he's saying? They want to see here's how people want to parse all this stuff out. They want to split the baby on the stuff. Thomas Massie does not want to accuse Trump of being in the uniparty, but Trump wanted this CR bill to pass, and he was cheering on Mike Johnson, and he was even cheering on Chuck Schumer when he agreed to vote for it. So is Thomas Massie man enough to call Trump a uniparty, that he and the Democrats are the same thing? Is that what you're saying? That's all. And then on Trump, who wants to call out Thomas Massie and say, we're going to primary you. Well, Rand Paul voted against it in the Senate. So is Trump going to primary Rand Paul when they're friends? Not consistent. And here's the final. 10 Senate Democrats voted yes, and 1 Senate Republican voted no, and that is Rand Paul. And I think that is not a good strategy. I know they think it's a great strategy. I think it's not a good strategy. Here it is. Massie was 100% correct. Rand Paul seldom votes for CRs. Well, neither one of them vote for CRs in their voting records. I don't care who votes for what. I want to talk about the motive. He claims the motive is he hates Mike Johnson. And really, people should just say, you know what? I hate Mike Johnson. Instead of give me a reason like that Schumer and Biden and Mike Johnson and Trump and every Republican that voted for it, that they're all compromised and in bed with each other with U.S. aid, instead of implying that, which might be possible, I don't know. Maybe Trump is secretly a big government Democrat that wants to fund U.S. aid. Maybe that's why he kept the government open, Thomas Massie. Maybe he agrees with Chuck Schumer. Even though Chuck Schumer is reaping absolute hell right now from the Democrat Party for supporting this thing. None of it makes sense. I don't buy their reasoning. I don't buy his agenda, and I don't buy his reasoning. And now I don't think he's being honest. I don't think he's being honest about Mike Johnson. I'm going to say it. I think Thomas Massie is lying about Mike Johnson. I don't know that. Because his story doesn't add up. His story doesn't add up. That's my beef. I'm trying to get the right motive, figure out the motive on this stuff. And that's why I like truth tellers, including Anna Kasparian. That's why I'm showing a Democrat who I think she is telling the truth. The reasons that she gave bugs me. And I know Thomas Massie is a good man. Good man. Doesn't mean he can't lie. A lot of politicians out there that are decent people lie. I'm glad to see real women are back in fashion. I did not like the women with, whoa, okay, I can't read that. Sorry, Gregory. We're liking real women again. But it is just fashion, so it will come and go. You know, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have to hey, if you guys are in the storm, I have a storm outside right now in Tennessee. It's outrageous. If you're in a storm, let me know. And we got to wrap this show up. If you guys are going to do super chats, this is when you do it. If we can raise $100 in super chats, we will fund the show on Monday and do a live show. Otherwise, we're not doing one. And I'm okay with not doing one. I'm okay with doing one. Either way, it costs the same to me, but only if we raise $100. So it looks like we're going to be, do not give. Just enjoy the show together. I'll take Monday off. You'll still get episodes, 5 episodes. You're going to get 5 episodes. We're not going to do a live stream. Today is the bonus live stream. And then we're all caught up. I am honored to have you guys as an audience. Okay. Now look at this. You're in a storm. Stephanie S., where's your storm? Arizona sunshine in the 60s. Ooh, that sounds like a beautiful day. This person's on the Big Island. Holy moly. From around the world, my people are checking in. From around the world. Florida here. Oh yeah, Florida. You haven't gotten it yet, Jeremiah. I think it's coming because we're west of you, so it should be floating over to Florida. Yeah, we're going to get the storm tonight in Maryland. All my buddies. There's Mississippi. Oh, yeah, you're storming in Mississippi. There you go. Thank you for the clarification on the Arkies. We got the Arkies out there, Greg. My Arkies. Greetings from Brazil, Michigan, Brazil. It's around the world, guys. Louisiana, Tennessee. Okay. And on that happy note, it's been great hanging with you guys today. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you guys go to church tomorrow. Find a little Bible believing church and show up. If not, go online, find a good streaming sermon of a very Bible believing pastor, not one that's just all show. If they're not going to read from the word, it's not helping. Get the word out, guys, and let's get to reading. Tomorrow's the Sabbath. Our family will be going, and then I do not work on the Sabbath. I do a little cleaning up here and there around the studio. You know, holy cow, there's a super chat, $10 super chat from Bill Hansen. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. That'll go toward the next show. We will put that toward the next show. So it all helps. It means on Monday, if we do a live chat, if on Tuesday, we'll be the earliest that we do a live show. How's that? I'll look at my numbers and see what goes up and down with my views. Holy moly, there's another one. Look at that. Mike McLeod, $10 Canada. Thank you. Canada, we might end up being in the same country, Mike. Right? I think we need Canada. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. $50 super chat from Anna B. Thanks for all you do. That puts us at $70. If we raise another $30, I got to do a live stream on Monday. And it will be better than this one because we will have the entire weekend's news to pull from. You know, on Sundays, they dump all that news out, all the Sunday shows. Oh, it's juicy. But Anna B., thanks for supporting us. That's very kind of you. It really does help pay some bills over here. Appreciate it. And you never know, Canada. We might get Canada. We might get Finland. We might get Greenland. We're open to it. And we absolutely got to stop the tariffs coming from America to Canada, but more importantly, from Canada to America. We got to end all tariffs. So they're going to have to go in and do some kind of a trade agreement and say no tariffs on anybody. And they're going to have to commit to not bringing fentanyl into our country, which has to end. Ooh, I got some God blessings to you and your family. Thank you so much. It's so kind of you guys. I appreciate y'all. Uh-oh. Katarina Fleeblecorn, $10 super chat. Thank you, Doug. Oh, no. Here we go. We're up to $85 now for love you for the next show, AZ Cruz. I think we're getting close enough to where you might just see me on Monday. Because even after these shows go off the air, people can still give super chats, and oftentimes it's enough to oh man. And I'm fine. Dude, I'll do it live. I really want to take the camera around the house, but then I can't read the chat on my little camera. All right, that's it. Now we're doing a live show, Stephanie S. You are lovely, Stephanie S. $20 super chat. Thanks. Glad I found you again. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find me. I'm under my name, Doug TenNapel. And some of you might be seeking under Doug in Exile. Holy cow, now we're going over. Joseph Ryan, $10 super chat. Launch the cow. Cow is launched. My Earthworm Jim people out there. GoPro 5, $20 super sticker. Oh my gosh. You guys are too kind. All right, we're doing a live one. That's it. Monday, 3 p.m. Central. Monday, 3 p.m. Central. I'm committing to a live show. You guys just paid for it. We will go on live. I'll have a nice thumbnail. You guys can come in the chat. I'll try and open up the show a little early if you want to come into the chat. And we will It will be a machine gun of news. A 1-hour machine gun of news is what's coming. And, I'll still do 4 long form shows. Will be coming on Mondays. So maybe only 3 long form, 3 or 4. But we will discuss all of the news coming in over the weekend shows. It's going to be huge because right now, guys, the left, I think they're ready for an insurrection. I believe it's right now in DC. There's a giant leftist meeting with all of these people. There's Susan Szymanski. She's the one who paid for this show today. So thank you. There's a giant insurrection gathering. And I mean, there were hundreds of people in Washington, D.C. in that park. And they're talking about, they're saying Trump, because of his, they're going to 14th Amendment him because he was pro-insurrection. They're going to try and remove him from office. It's not going to work. But the Democrats, Democrats pounce. That's how they do it in the news. Daryl Roberts, you know the wording. Democrats, they always do. Republicans pounce. I love just pushing all of this back on the Democrats. All the words they used against us. It was always a giant lie. They never had a single value. They don't care about democracy. They don't believe in elections. They didn't believe that democracy was on the ballot because the Democrats never even respected the ballot. They didn't believe in the vote. They want to overthrow the government. They want a new form of government. They don't believe in the Constitution. They believe it's a living, breathing document. They're not going to hold to the law. They don't believe in the law. Alvin Bragg, you saw him. If it was a felon on a subway and it was a minority, he'd let him loose. If it was a white guy, prosecute him. Daniel Penny. If it's Trump, invent a law and throw him in prison. They don't believe in rule of law. They don't believe in votes. They don't believe in the Constitution. They don't believe that a law or even a value or a judgment applies the same to you as it does to them. And so the end game of that, I don't know how many violent radicals are in the Democrat Party. I'm guessing not enough to do any damage. So I'm guessing 5% of the country. Now, if you live, where's Stacy Schmidt at? She says scary. You don't have to be scared unless you live in a city. Remember where all the scary stuff happens. The scary stuff does not happen in the country. They can't get enough Marxists out in Tupelo, Missouri, or out in Oklahoma. They can't get enough Marxists in an area to do any damage. They can in Manhattan. They can in Los Angeles. Here in Tennessee, maybe in Memphis, it's too spread out. It has to be a thick urban center. Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, even Austin, Texas is too spread out. They're not going to be able to pull off violence there. There's Eve. $20 super chat, Eve. Thank you so much. We are going to indeed commit to a Monday live show because you guys have paid for this channel for the deficit of these live shows. If you're willing to pay for them, it's just a different form of payment and it keeps my channel going. And I'm here to serve you guys. I will bring you the news. But look, isn't a 1-hour show, isn't a longer show better than a short show? I don't know. Anyways, they can't do widespread violence. We're too spread out. And given the gun ownership in this country, we will never be taken over by a violent force from the outside. Marcus Hibden. Hey, Doug and group. Did you hear that 4 big PD casters big podcasters are out, I guess, permanently? Tim Pool, Eva Melendez, and 2 others went to Rumble because of YouTube harassing them. Now that's possible, but I don't believe it, and here's why. I'll tell you why. I'm always suspect of that. Here's Daryl Roberts, $20 super chat. Holy cow. You guys are really helping me out now, and I'm getting blessed. So thank you. That touches me that you guys support me. Look, you support me if you spend your time watching commercials. The commercial company, every time you watch a commercial on YouTube, which is fine, that's how I make my living. You watch a commercial on YouTube, that company paid 12 cents for someone to watch it, and then YouTube splits the money with me. So for every 1,000 people that watch this show, it might be like $3 that I split. You know, I might get $3 for 1,000 people. So all that happens is if you are paying right now for a longer show and you're not watching commercials, it's YouTube wants your eyeballs to see the show, and they'll pay you to see the show. That's all. So thank you for paying for that. Let's get back to that Tim Pool comment, that Tim Pool is off YouTube. The only way that people go to Rumble, and Dan Bongino, remember, is a co-owner of Rumble. So that's not a free market, normal market going on Rumble. If Tim Pool goes over there, it could be because his channel's demonetized here on YouTube, but usually it's because Rumble pays people just like you guys pay me with super chats. If Rumble said, Doug, we will pay you $500 a show to come to Rumble and ditch YouTube, I would go. And that's usually what happens when people go to Rumble. It's because Rumble takes their money that they make off the stock market and they pay a certain amount of talent to stay on Rumble. Or they do Birch Gold or Noble Gold ad reads. Birch Gold, Noble Gold, there's all kinds of these gold companies. They're the ones that pay the most because they know that you guys, you notice my audience, there's a lot of 65 years old and up, a whole lot of 60 and up and 65 and up in my audience. The gold companies want you to spend your retirement money on their gold. Now, I don't have a problem with people owning gold. I don't feel good. I once did a deal with Noble Gold, and I didn't feel good about it because I had to say certain things about the company. I'm going to tell you what I had to say, and I couldn't do it. It said, I'm Doug TenNapel, and I trust Noble Gold with my retirement. I couldn't say those words because I did not. I have not put my retirement into Noble Gold. And so I couldn't say that. So then they said, well, can you say I'm Doug TenNapel and I trust Noble Gold? And I said it on 4 commercial ad reads. And all I could think of was, holy cow, my audience of old people are going to make a major retirement decision with their money. You know, they're going to take the money out of their house or off the stock market and give it to Noble Gold, which, you know, that's Noble Gold's business. They do very well. Lots of people read their ad reads. I hear, you know, Mark Levin reads ad reads. Every channel that does ad reads. You'll notice I'm not doing ad reads. I'd rather have you guys pay me direct. But I felt like, what if 4 of my audience members do a deal with Noble Gold, buy gold with their retirement? Now, some of these gold companies, I'm not going to name companies now, but some of these gold companies, if you just do a normal research on what they're selling their gold for, they're 15% higher than what you can get from another gold broker out in the free market. And so now you're paying extra. And I go, I don't feel good about that. So I just didn't like the gold situation. I would read ad reads. I would do ad reads of MyPillow because I use MyPillow. I have a MyPillow and there's sheets on every bed in my house. Look, I'm not getting paid to say this. I use MyPillow and I love their product. So I wouldn't mind doing a MyPillow ad read. I just think you guys are already watching commercials during my show. So why are you going to also watch me do an ad read on this website, that product, event? Now, what would happen is if this channel got demonetized, then I go, well, I can't make a living. So now either you're going to have to pay me, say, through PayPal, or I have to start doing ad reads to make any money and be able to do this. And I would, if I did gold reads, ooh, I don't know. I don't feel good about it. But, you know, It's also kind of a buyer beware. It's like, hey, so I don't mind even reading a gold read. It's when they make me put my name by it saying, this is the only company I trust. I don't like it. And that's why these companies are going to those of us who are influencers. We're all influencers. I have influence over you, my audience. And so Noble Gold or these, I don't want to name them. Dude, it's every company that anyone reads an ad for. Every single company that pays someone to read an ad. It's because they know that their audience are more likely to buy it if an influencer influences them. That is, you trust me. And so you're going to buy a product that I tell you about. Well, so I don't mind telling you about products that I actually buy. I love DeWalt power drills. I love MyPillow. I love I have brands of beer. I don't mind doing that. There's brands of products that I love to buy and I love supporting them all day. And so those I don't mind influencing you to buy. And I'd go, it's a name that I trust. But what happens if, some knockoff Temu drill comes and says, tell them how much you trust this drill when really I only trust DeWalt or Makita. Okay. Veteran Biker. Dude, what are you doing? Veteran Biker, $10 super chat. Doug, do you want to come on live sometime? Yes, I'll come on live, brother. Veteran Biker, whenever you're ready, dude. Do I follow you on Twitter? If I don't, I need to follow you so you can DM me. Otherwise, I won't get your message. Yeah, I'd love to come on live. We'd have a blast, buddy. I really have a lot of compassion for the people out there in the audience and my fellow creators out there that have to run a show. It's hard work. It's a lot of work. It's hard to do. It's fun, but it takes a lot of time. So Veteran Biker is one of them out there. My best friends are like, who does News Gym now is my best friend. Nerk News is one of my best friends out there. You guys have probably seen their names rolling around. I've got a lot of buddies. Neil Johnson is a good friend of mine. They're out there doing shows. So, and we're just trying to bring you the news. Look, here's Anna Kasparian. Look, there's a high Veteran Biker out there. VB is getting some love from my audience. Here it is. Dan. Anna Kasparian saying she will come back to the Democrat Party when they do things right. Dude, the fact is that the leadership of the Democrat Party switched to Marxist in 1960. That's true. That's true. The Republican Party is the closest thing to a Democrat Party of the 60s that you'll find now, because all of those Democrats went over to the wrong party. Nerk is great. Yes, he is. He's an old buddy of mine. Wait, here's another guy talking about Veteran Biker. Let's see. This is Backpack Online. Veteran Biker is also at YouTube. That is true. Veteran Biker is a channel here on YouTube. $1 super chat from Karen DeMaro. Thank you, Karen. That's very kind of you. Everyone does their little part. But this thing would suck if I didn't have a good audience. So there's ways that I can ruin my audience. If I started doing conspiracies all the time, I would attract an audience of lunatics. Hunter Biden comic book. You guys are requesting product now. Look, there's a Veteran Biker is awesome. Look at that. Steve says VB is awesome. If I started doing content that I didn't believe in or didn't like I could do the full conspiracy. Alex Jones. I like Alex Jones. I think he's very entertaining, but I think there's parts of him that are just crazy. Okay. And I don't want to do that because then I'll attract that audience. Holy cow. There's a $20 super chat from Michael P. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Doug, thank you for all you do. Do you think they'll ever have to go after George Soros? I don't know. He's kind of almost so old that he's almost dead. He's looking pretty thin, and he turned his business operations largely over to his son. So And I don't know how much of what George Soros did is criminal. I mean, what he did might be immoral to inflate, pump, and dump the currency of an entire country, and make your money that way. But I don't think him funding our attorneys general, all these attorney generals, that was just a strategy. He went into attorney generals because people didn't tend to fund them. People tended to focus on Republican and Democrat presidential campaigns. So George Soros just goes, you know what I'll do? Back in 2008, he goes, a lot of these elections are decided by secretaries of state and attorneys generals in state. So George Soros just goes, I'll just fund each one of them, in swing states. And he pumped a bunch of money in and got them elected. That was legal. So there probably is some illegal George Soros stuff doing. I don't know if we can go after him. I definitely think he should be investigated. Investigate everything he's done. And his son. And make sure that they're not buying our elections. They should, how much of an influence should any donor be able to have? You know, we have our guy, Elon Musk. I'd rather see Elon Musk go toe to toe against George Soros and say, Elon Musk, I want you to fund every secretary of state in every swing state, every attorney general in every swing state should be a Trump guy. Every judge, if there's a judge running for an office anywhere that's not an appointment, police commissioners, chiefs, the same thing that Zuckerberg did, where he went to the swing states and hired election overseers. I want Elon Musk to go into every state, swing state, and hire Republican MAGA election oversight people. Whatever they do, we just need to match them dollar for dollar, and we'll smoke them everywhere. And I think that's going to happen. Next election, look, Elon Musk needs to be a big winner. He needs to be a big winner with Trump. Because we need every big tech billionaire to get on the Doge team. So you've already seen Sachs, you've seen some of these guys join the administration. All these .com crypto billionaires. My problem is a lot of them are just really rich Democrats that just come over, you know. They're not fiscally, they're for all of the things that I'm against. They're for a lot of conservative things that I'm against. So if I can get them to agree with us on Supreme Court justices, I'll be pretty happy with them. But if they start influencing the party, the Republican Party, to the left, and it really just goes full-blown Democrat, that might be tougher to support. But the Republican Party, for the first time in a while, we're getting very popular. Do you guys smell that? I want you to smell this for a second in culture. The Republican Party, conservatives, MAGA, populism, is for the first time really, really popular because of Donald Trump. So Trump is listening to the people are being heard. And that means you have a very large majority, which the Democrats have traditionally had. So Democrats have, for the last, I would say, the election cycles, I would say probably since Clinton. So this is George H.W. Bush. George Bush, the first, was the first Republican to not get two elections back to back. Clinton got him. Okay. Clinton was a populist. And from that point on till Trump, the populists largely went with the left. And now the populists are largely just now leaning to the right with Trump. And it's really just the left the Democrats went so crazy. You know, Trump is largely running on, he sounds a lot like Clinton in the 90s. We're showing Barack Obama videos of Barack Obama and Joe Biden saying that they want to reform the government exactly like Doge back in 2011. They're saying we have to shrink these corrupt government institutions and save money and stop waste. So a lot of the things, almost everything, Trump being an isolationist, anti-war. Who was anti-war in 2008? Remember Cindy Sheehan? Muffin Top, Cindy Sheehan was opposing Trump's war in Iraq. That's a Trump position now. Get out of Afghanistan, get out of Iraq, stop, end the war. We're anti-war. In the 60s, anti-war. Trump's anti-war in the Ukraine war. That's us now. Look at that, another $20 super chat. Howell Hudson, thank you so much, Howell, or Howell Hudson, $20 super chat. Keep up the good work, brother. Well, thank you for that super chat. That sure helps our channel out a lot. I'm going to try and stay on here for an hour. That gives us 5 more minutes at least. So thank you guys for the super chats. That just touches me. Doing my best on my commentary. So do they get George Soros? I don't think they do. I don't think they get Joe Biden either. I think he's not going to be long with us. You know what happens when people retire? All of us, when you retire, you croak. Joe Biden, if he doesn't find something to do and work with his hands and do something, he's going to croak. So that's you and I too. I'm not ever going to retire. I'm going to work till the day I die. I don't want to sit on a boat somewhere. I do want to go fishing. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to fish full time. I'm not going to retire and sit in a lounge chair full time. And neither should you. If you're sitting, my people who are retirement age, I'm talking to you right now. You got to stand up and get up and walk around or you're going to croak. Do you hear me? If you're stuck in a chair and you can't stand up, you got to at least get up and move your arms. Move your arms. You got to crank yourself up and stand up. If you retire and you don't find something to do where you work on something every day. So Joe Biden is going to croak. He's not doing anything. He's going to go. I love the idea of, I want to sit at the beach all day too. I'm only saying, don't just sit at the beach, walk at the beach. Go to the beach every day. That's your job. Pretend like it's your full-time job. I have to go walk at the beach every day. I have to walk 5 miles. I have to go to the park and walk my dog 5 miles. You have to do it. My retirement people, move your body. There's Sandra Signorelli, $20 super chat. Doug, I enjoy your channel. Sandra, that's so kind of you. I enjoy you, my audience. You guys are my people. Randall, Old Buick Black, $2 super chat. Soros started the NGO grift, 78 Indiana, 68 to 69. Sure. I believe it. 68, 69. You know, our government really was infiltrated by communists. Really did get infiltrated by communists. You know, they're talking about this Khalil guy that we deported, this Mahmoud or whatever his name is. We deported him, taking him back to Egypt in New York. And that's the big scandal. Ooh, he has a free speech right to be here. Not a citizen. Here on a green card, here on a work visa. He didn't marry a woman here. And they had a kid. So that makes it a little tougher. But can we deport him? The first guys that we deported were communists that were here from Russia trying to radicalize us. And we said, you know what? You're not a citizen. You're here on a green card or a work visa, and you're now gone. You're gone, green card, you're gone. Work visa, you're gone. You don't have a right to sit here and foment anti-America, anti-Jew, and intimidate our Jewish citizens. You can't intimidate our women. You can't attack our girls. If I see a bunch of illegals come over that border and start waving a Mexican flag here, you're gone. Get out. I don't care what country you're from. If you're from the Ukraine, get out. All right. I used to see, like, on my mom's side of the family, they would do family reunions. They'd hold up a German flag. I go, Mom, I would never, ever in my life hold up another country's flag. I would never hold up a German flag. You know, don't people remember the last time people started waving German flags? It didn't go well for the world. I would never wave. I don't care what my heritage is. I don't care what percentage of blood I have. I'm an American. My blood type, my ethnicity is American. I don't care if you're black and you're here. If you're black and you're here and you were born in America and you're a patriot, you're as American as me. I'm not German and you're not African. Screw those countries. I'd live there if I wanted to be there. So I'm not Canadian American. I'm not English American. The closest thing I have to another person's flag, I do have a Margaret Thatcher t-shirt. It has just Margaret Thatcher's face on it because I love her so much and because Britain hates her, that I think it's the most punk rock thing I could ever do is wear a Margaret Thatcher t-shirt. So I do love me some Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, Dutch American, the Dutch. That's all I hear my whole life. If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. You know what? If you're Dutch, you ain't much. I've got a Dutch last name. I've got a Dutch ethnicity, and the Dutch blood in me can go to Hades. I do not care. Yeah, the Iron Lady. You know who I'm related to? Do you know who are my relatives? Do you know who shares blood with me? All of you in the chat. Patriots. Patriots. If you take a blood sample of me and you put it under a cell, you put it under a microscope and you measure my DNA, they go, holy cow, he's a patriot. He's an American. That's all of you. They're going to say he's a brother of Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King Jr., Thomas Sowell, black men. They're my genetic brothers. I'll take it. Larry Elder, Mark Levin, a Jew. Dennis Prager, a Jew. Ben Shapiro, a Jew. You're my ethnic brother. That's how I see it. That really is how I see it. Amazing Hispanic men and women. Any patriot, Hirsi Ali, Ross Douthat, a Catholic, Jack Posobiec, a Catholic, Charlie Kirk, a Catholic. All of you, you might be a brown person. You might be of a different religion than me. You might be just a whole different person. If you're a patriot, they check your blood. We are family. Because in the end, side by side, we would die for this land. It's not the land. It's not the soil. It's not the molecules, right? It's not the dirt. It's the people. That's why we're here. All right. Thank you guys for hearing me out. And I'm fighting for our bloodline, the patriot DNA, freedom, one nation under God. In God we trust. God first, family, friends, our work ethic, and our country. That's what we are living and dying for. And it is worth dying for. You sit there and if you cower and you let them run roughshod over you and your family and your God, ain't gonna happen. You got nothing. You know what? You know who does that? Europe. I have patriots in Europe. And this is another thing. If you're in another country, I got people watching from around the world. If you're in Europe or Canada, the Canada truckers, or you're in Mexico, or you're in Brazil, or you're in Africa, and you're a patriot, you're exactly like the Americans. You don't live here. You may not be a citizen, but there are the patriot American DNA, I swear. There are Englishmen with it. There are Brazilians with it. there are Africans with it. And you see it on TV. You see them. When the government comes and says, you don't have free speech, they flip them the bird and say, yes, I do. I have a right to free speech, a God-given right to free speech. I love my country. I'm fighting for my country. There you go. Ooh, Doug, would you consider interviewing Thomas? I would be honored. Hey, can you guys reach out? I'll reach out to him on Twitter. I would be honored to interview Thomas Massie. He's one of my favorite guys in the world. Guys, Thomas Massie built his own house, a mansion, with his bare hands in Kentucky, out of the rocks and wood that is around his property. He is an engineer, a genius engineer. I think he went to like MIT Tech or one of those tech institutes. He took a Tesla engine and made it his house's electricity. He lives off the grid, powers his own house. He's a genius. So I have a lot of respect. He is the great American independent man. I don't think he's doing great with politics, and I'd love to pin him down and talk to him about that. Just go, dude, what's your beef with Mike Johnson? What's everyone's beef with Mike Johnson? Okay, that's all. Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to him. I would love to interview Thomas Massie too. And frankly, it's a lot better than just someone who I agree with. Go, you know, it would just be a giant worship fest all day if I had someone like Trump on. You know, I'd have to find a point of disagreement, and he might get mad at me if you know how I am. If I went after Trump on pro-life and on marriage, same-sex marriage, he might not like what I have to say, if you know what I mean. All right, we're going to wrap this show up. I'd like to thank all of the people that funded this show, my super chat people. I don't deserve you, but thanks for the money. It will pay some bills. It'll help me take care of the beloved Miss TenNapel, who helps run this channel all day, keeps this whole business going smooth. But most of all, for those of you who watch, I thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your time. I'll keep bringing you the news. And we're family. We're having a blast. We're on the same team. This is our little club where we spend time together. I'm Doug TenNapel, and we're all together right here in exile. Thanks for watching.